y equals 125 plus 5x.
Everybody, do you have the, so we can do the cross over? Alright, so tell me, y equals? So 5x plus 125. Remember, it really doesn't matter how you write it, okay? If someone answers positive or both ends, we're good to go. Alright, everybody, give me a name. Jackson? Okay, Jasmine, why is your rate of change? No, not 5x, just 5, okay? That means that at what rate is it changing? Is it constantly changing? At what? $5. There you go. Thank you. That was $5 every time. It goes up, 5. Okay? What's your starting point or you're going to intercept? 1. 125. Okay, Epifania, give me a name. Alexander, is it discrete or continuous? Remember, you gotta take a look at your x. What is x? Somebody open out. It's continuous? What is x? Okay, wait. Let's think about what x is. What is x? The number of times that I use the court. Can I use the court half of the time?
No.
Can I use half of a court? No. Half of a tennis court? Really?
No.
No? Okay, we're talking, so I'm going to stop. It's in the back of the room again. So is it continuous or is it discrete? It's discrete. Very good. All right. Jose, Ms. Marie does not want to spend more than $275. What's the domain? Now, if sometimes I need to kind of like graph it and put over here that this is the time of the number of times that I use the court and that's the money so that I can visualize what the domain is and what the range is. I usually like to do this, okay? I just write it out real quick, what's on X and what's on Y. You don't even need to do the graph if you don't want to. You can just say X is how many times I use the court and Y is how much money I'm given the tennis club, right? So what's the domain? What's the domain, Jose? Okay. X is the domain. How many times I use the court? From 0 to? No, it's not infinity. No. How many times? 30. How did you get that 30? Thank you very much. One person at a time because we're talking and I cannot understand. One. Okay, so basically this is probably what you did. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write the equation. The equation is y equals 5x plus what? 125? Yay or nay? Yay. Okay, so I do not want to spend more than $275, and that's your y, because that's the cost. So you replace 275 here. You're going to have plenty of these problems on Friday. So you need to know how to think, but you're not going to be able to do them. Okay, so that's 275. Then after this, the calculator takes over, okay? Or you're going to say minus 125 divided by 5, and you get that x equals 30. So your domain is from 0 times. You don't have to use the court. But because I don't want to spend more than $275, there's a limit to how many times I want to use the court. Because I just don't want to spend an infinite amount of money. I don't have an infinite amount of money to spend. Okay? So your domain would be from 0 to 30. And this separates to algebra 1 kids. If you can think this way, you're in the right place. Okay? Now, what about my range? Where does it start? Carlos. It starts at 125 because even if I do not use the court, I still have to pay, initial fee of 125. Now it goes all the way to what, Carlos? What? 275. Because I do not want to spend more than what? $275. All right. Epifania. Griselda. The tennis club manager decides to decrease the registration fee to 90. Write an equation that represents the new situation. So give me the equation. Very good. 5x plus 90. What kind of transformation have you done? Somebody tell me. Shift down because it went from 125 to what? 290. Very good. So when you sketch it, what should you sketch? The 125 should be over here, right? And the 90 should be lower, correct? Because now the slope is the same, so those two lines are going to be what? Parallel. Thank you very much. They're never ever going to meet. Never ever. Okay? So now that shift is down because you took away from that y-intercept, right? It went from 125 to 90. Okay? So y equals 5x plus 90, or y equals 5x plus 125. So shift it down. Okay? All right. Number 9. Epifania. Epifania, you're giving me points right when they get it wrong. All right. Cool. Jackie. Identify the rate of change. $5. Very good. Jacqueline. Epifania. 1. Identify the starting point. 90. Very good. All right, let's do the domain. Remember, I still do not want to spend more than how much? 275. Okay, so give me a name, and that person's going to walk me through this. Everybody. Sammy, what am I doing? And is a bracket. The number of times I use the chord will start at 0 and go all the way to what? 90? What is 90? I have to solve. Thank you, Mario. I have to solve. Again, you need to know how to do problems like this. Okay? I'm going to put the problem, and then I'm going to ask a bunch of questions about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you cannot do 1, you probably won't be able to do 2, or won't be able to do 3, won't be able to do 4, or won't be able to do 5. And there goes your 50%, right? So you need to make sure that you can do this on Friday. So what did you do, Franklin? Talk to me. What did you do in the equation if I do not want to spend more than $275? Very good. Why did you replace the Y by 275? Because what is Y? The money that I want to spend. And I do not want to spend more than 275. So I'm going to take my equation and I'm going to say 275 equals 5x plus 90, correct? And then I'm going to say minus 90. And then divide by 5. And I'm going to do that. Please be careful with the calculator. And okay, turn around. I don't need any comments. And then I'm going to do that to the 275. What do we got? 18. 18? Okay. 37 or 18? It has to be bigger, right? Because now that y-intercept went down. Okay, Monica? I'm recording, so I'm going to want to say what I think. But every time I look at it, I'm really talking. And it's, sometimes it's sad, but a lot of times it's not. Okay? All right, Epifania, give me a name. Yeah, take someone else, please. the range. Very good. Very good. Very good. It just changes instead of 125, it changes to a 90. It's always going to be 275 regardless of it going down. Okay, so what type of transformation we already said? What was it? It's a shift down, right? Why is it? It shifted down. Why is it? Because it went from f of x to what? To f of x minus whatever it is, right? What was it? 35? Thank you so much. Minus 35. Alrighty? Are we good? Yay? Okay, so take your yellow paper. Right now, we're going to do a foldable real quick. We're going to do two, actually. All right, tell me the points.
1, 2, 4.
1 and 2, and then 4, 4, and then you guys should have the straw on top of it, right? Yes? I'm going to make a line. We put some straws on your basket. Yeah, because it's thin. That's why we do it spaghetti, because it's really thin. I'm telling you. All right. We're after 2 points, and you don't want to do it with a straw. Just put 2 points and you do it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start. Justin, and this table doesn't have any straw. All right. I'm waiting for people to be quiet so that I may be able to start my explanation. But I guess I have to say names. Because I'm trying to be nice and not name any names so we keep talking. So you just got called out and recorded for everybody to hear. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do, as we have located those 2 points, okay, is we're going to do rise over run. But before we do rise over run, you need a highlighter to do this. I am going to connect those 2 points, making a triangle, because I need to know what my rise is and what my run is, okay? So if you want to take your straw out at this point and then just go ahead and highlight. You always walk like an L from one point to the other. You can do it on top of the line or you can do it underneath the line. It really does not matter, okay? Tell me my points again. So it was 1 and 2. And 4, 4. I need to pick a smaller, a thinner highlighter. Okay. Now I'm going to do rise over run. Okay? Rise over run. And you can do this at the bottom of the page if you want to, okay? Okay, so my rise would be, rise is getting on an elevator, right? Because it's up or down. So that would be 1 and 2. And my run is 1, 2, and 3. Jimmy is walking what? Up. So he's going to heaven. So is that positive or negative? Positive. So the slope for this line would be positive 2/3. Okay? Okay? Alright. So it's hard for me to see in here what the y-intercept would be. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's going to be 1, but I'm not sure. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do, and you guys can do this at the bottom of the page so you have a little bit of space, okay? Because we're only going to do it without a calculator. I'm going to write down the equation of a line. mx plus b, where what is m? This slope, and x and y is a point, and I can pick any of those points that I have. Pick a point. Probably the easiest one to do would be what? 1 and 2. You can do 4 and 4. It really does not matter. Okay, and you have a calculator in front of you, so computation should not be a big deal. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to use the point 1 and 2. What's my y on that point?
2.
So I'm going to replace it by that. You saw that yesterday, right? You saw that yesterday in the video? 2 equals. What's my slope? What's my slope?
2/3.
Thank you. 2/3. What's my x? My x is 1. I'm substituting, right? Because I want to figure out what my y-intercept is, which is b. Now, 2/3 times 1 would be 2/3. And actually, after this, the calculator can take over, right? But all you have to do is do 2 minus 2/3, right? I got to do minus 2/3 so that I can eliminate the 2/3. Because I want b by itself. I want to isolate b. If you saw the video yesterday, this should be okay. Because actually, the ones in the video were harder than this. Okay? So what is 2 minus 2/3? Do it on your calculator. Remember, fractions always go inside what? Parentheses, right? Yes, you can. Now, I don't want it like that. What am I going to do? I'm going to change it to a fraction. See? And the y-intercept was not 1. It looked like it was 1, but it was not 1. It was a little bit more than 1. So it's 4/3. So what is the equation of this line? Y equals 2/3 x plus 4/3. Okay? All right. Tell me, somebody copy the second set of points. 3 and -3, and 4 and 1. I just need one person to copy it, and let's go ahead and graph it. What was 3 and -1?
3 and -3.
3 and
-3.
3. Uh-oh. 3 and -3. And what was the other one?
4 and 1.
4 and 1? Okay, put the straw on top of it. It's a lot easier with spaghetti, it really is. So I'm sorry. See, and with your straw, you can really see how you extend it, right? I think it's going through 14, but I'm not sure, right? If I extend it, can you guys touch your y-intercept with the straw?
No.
You can't do it with a straw? Put the straw over here in the corner, and it should be able to go and touch your y. Put the straw in the corner. Put the straw on top. There you go. Should be able to see that it touches 14, but I'm not sure, right? Because the other one selected was 1, but it really wasn't 1. So this is where I need to go ahead and pick one of those points up. Let's do rights over run first. So I'm going to go from here to here, correct? To figure out my slope. All right, so talk to me about my slope. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What's my run? 1. So this is really 4. Let's draw Jimmy. Is Jimmy walking up or walking down? He's going to heaven, so that will be a positive. So it's a positive slope. Now I need to find B. So y equals mx plus let's pick one point. It really doesn't matter which one. I like to do points that are positive just because it's a little easier. So I'm going to go ahead and use 4 and 1. Okay, so what is y? 1. What's my m? 4. What's my x? 4. Okay. Now I solve it, right? 4 times 4 would be 16. And then to get rid of that 16, I'm going to have to say what? Minus 16. Okay? Yes, sir. It was the point that we were. I gave you those 2 points. Are you copying them? So you should know where they came from. Did you copy your points? So it's one of the points. All right, that would be 0. And what is B? Negative 15. So even though it looks like it's 14, it's really what? It's really negative 15. This is why you absolutely need to do this, okay? So what's the equation of the line? 4x minus 15. Positive slope, negative y-intercept. Get your name. All right. Let's do one more by hand, and then let's grab the calculator, and we'll do the rest of with the calculator. All right. Next point. Somebody write it. Negative 1 and 0 and negative 3 and 4. Thank you so much. Okay, so negative 1 and 0. And what was the other one? Negative 3 and 4. Put the straw over it. I hope you're keeping up with your work because I'm checking notebooks this week. And if I don't see 3 lines over there with the work, you're not getting this done. Okay, so it looks like it's 2, right? No, not 2, or negative 2. Jackie? Yes, you can. You can use whatever. I would definitely use premature colors because it's a little confusing, right? Because you're doing 3 in the same coordinate plane. All right, my next step, what would it be? You do the triangle, right? You do your L so that you can get your rice over your run. All right, what's my rice? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what's my run? 2, which that would be equal to 2. I'm going to draw Jimmy. I don't think Jimmy's going to heaven now. Right? That's Jimmy. So we're not going to say where he's going, but we all know where he's going. So is that positive or negative? Negative. You will never forget that. This is why he's going. You better not be going home. Is that going to happen? He better not be going home. All right, what's our next step? So you graph it, you do the L. You graph it, you do the L, you do your rice over the run, and what's my next step? Y equals mx plus b. All right. So number 1 graph. Number 2, rise over 1. You find your slope. Then number 3,
You solve for B.
solve for B so that I can get my B. Very good. Okay, so which point? This one's probably really easy.
1 and 0.
1 and -1 and 0. Now you can pick the other one, it's okay, but Miss Maria likes to work smarter instead of harder. So I'm gonna pick the one that has a 0 because that's a lot easier to do.
It'll be the same thing.
Alright, so what's Y?
0.
0. What's my M? Negative 2. Negative 2. And then what's my X? Negative 1. See, this is all things I had to say that you should have learned last year in law creativity class. And I'm not sure that you did. That's why I'm going with it. Alright, what's negative 2 times negative 1?
Negative.
No. Positive 2. Thank you. Now to get rid of that 2, I'm going to say minus 2. Okay, I'm just solving. If after that you want to grab the calculator, you go right ahead, okay? That's 0. So B equals what?
Negative 2.
Oh, I think this was the only one that my line was right on the money, okay? So what's my equation?
Y equals
Negative 2x minus, that's supposed to be a 2, I'm sorry. Minus 2, right? Or you can say plus negative 2, but you're never going to see on that test plus negative 2. Yeah, we're not going to have an answer to it because I got to show you how to do it. Are we good? Yay? Alright, so let's grab the calculator. Now this is really easy to do. You're going to love this. The only thing that I'm going to ask you to do is to make an X and Y table for each one of those pairs of points. All you need to do what we're about to do, is to have 2 points. So I'm going to say it again. All you need to have to do what we're about to do is to have 2 points. That's it. And I am going to, because I'm going to tell you something, if you don't do this X and this Y table, you're going to get a mess. I still mess them up if I don't do X and Y. I was doing this yesterday, I was working on my D yesterday, and I didn't do my X and Y table, I messed it up. Okay? So we're going to do an X and a Y table. So what's my first point? So do your X and your Y table right now. You can do it in the back of that. Thank you. You can do it in the back of that paper. What's my first point? Negative 4 for X and negative 2 for Y. Okay? And then what's my Y? Positive 2 and negative 5. Everybody has to have that X and Y table. We're not going to do that yet. Let's go. Alright. Your calculator's not on, let's go ahead and turn it on. We're going to go to stat. Stat is right there. You need to follow along, so do not fall behind. And we're going to edit. So you're either going to press 1 or enter. You should see something like this. Alright. So on L1, you're going to put all your X's. On L2, you're going to put your Y's. So my X's are negative 4 and 2. And my Y's are negative 2 and negative 5. You with me?
Yes.
I think we did a little bit of this on the summer. Yeah, for those of you that didn't go to summer camp, I'm sorry. But you missed quite a bit.
It helps them.
It does help. The questions was a lot easier, right? That first week was a lot easier because of that summer camp. Yes, it was. All right, so listen up. Now we're going to go back to stat. But we're going to tell her to calculate. So we got to scroll to the right. And we're going to tell her to do a line regression because it will be a line. So she's going to do a line, linear regression on that line. So that's got to be 4. Now yours looks a little different, right? Yours is different because mine is not updated. You got to go all the way down to where it says calculate. You see the calculate? So you scroll all the way down to where it says calculate, and you hit enter, and there's your equation. So y equals what? Let's plug it in. Well, we're going to change it to a fraction, so what would be negative 0.5? Thank you. Negative 1.5 x. Look at the A. This is A. You're just plugging in the equation, right? Are you plugging in the equation? The A is negative 1.5. I always want it, most of the time you will see it as a fraction, not as a decimal. And then your B would be what? So that would be minus 4. You ready to do the next one?
Yes.
All right, first step. Table. If there's no table, believe me, neighbors' eyes to do it. If I don't have a table, I'm missing it. Because I tell you what I do. I put that underneath. I put those two as X's and those two as Y's. I do it all the time if I don't have a table. All right? All right. Okay, so X and Y. What's my first point? Negative 2 and 4, and my second point would be 0 and negative 2. That doesn't take more than 5 seconds to do, and you make sure that you're doing it right. So everybody write it. That's it. You don't have it already, please do it. Okay, you remember how to go back to it? Stat, but I'm going to show you how to clear. Stat and 1, right? Or stat and enter. If you want to clear the list, you got to go all the way up to where L2 is highlighted. You see that highlighted? You're going to hit clear and then enter, and it takes away the whole list. Go back to L1, hit clear, and then enter, and it takes the whole list, okay? Now let's write our points. Negative 2 and 0, and then 4 and negative 2. I will take 1 or 2 seconds to make sure that I wrote the numbers correctly, because sometimes I have to write a 2 instead of a negative 2, right? Because it's really easy to do when you do it really quick. Just, oh, see, I messed up. That's not a negative 3. It's supposed to be a what? Negative 2. See what I'm saying? It's really easy to mess up. Negative 2 and 0, 4 and negative 2. Remember where to go now? Stat. Calculate. So that will be a 4. And then you guys go all the way down and hit calculate, right? I just have to hit enter on mine. So what's my equation? Y equals negative 3x minus 2. Not minus negative 2. Minus 2. You can say plus negative 2, but that you're not going to see it like that on the test. All right, one more before we leave. Let's go. Real quick. Make the X and the Y. What happened? All right. X and Y would be negative what? 5 and 2, negative 3 and negative 3. Doesn't take more than 5 seconds to do. You make sure you get it right. Go back to where? Stat, edit, and then clear that list. Clear the list. All right, let's write it. Negative 5, negative 3, 2, and negative 3. Make sure you're correct. Negative 5, negative 3, 2, negative 3. Remember how to do? Stat, calc, linear regression, which is a 4, and then you hit enter. I don't want that as no decimals. You turn them into fractions, and you can do it right here. Negative 2.5, and then hit that math button. Fraction, hit it twice. What was that? Negative 5 over 2. So what's my equation? Y equals negative 5 halves x. Plus or minus?
-5.
Minus. And then if you don't know how to turn that 10.5 into a fraction, 10.5, no biggie, the calculator will do it. Alpha, I know alpha, no, I'm sorry. You can do it probably in your head. Most of you could probably do it in your head. That'll be 21 over 2. No, not 5. 2. And that will be a minus because it was a minus 10.5, right? Are you done? Are we good?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, for homework tonight.